How do I... There we go. Sorry. So, welcome, you people, to... This is Lucid9. I only just started reading this, a couple hours ago, and I was like, you know what? I was reading it to see if I liked it or not, and I really, really do like it so far. So, I'm gonna do it this way, share it with people. Not really just myself, nobody, whatever. Right, so I saw this on Steam, and I think by the title and the thumbnail that I saw, it gave me the impression that maybe like the 9, it looked like there were 9 girls with each one with a specific hair color. And as I went through it a little bit, there are guys that also have hair colors, so maybe they're gonna correspond and they're gonna fall in love with each other. Or maybe it's gonna be an opposites attract thing. But so this doesn't seem to be heavily focused on like dating or romance. It's just a story, and you know, from everything I've seen, it looks like it's gonna be amazeballs. This is what I was looking at when I started up. We got so much more to go. And there's achievements. I don't even know what the hell these would be for, but I'm excited. Cool reality. Cool. So I haven't even scratched the surface yet. Good. I wanted to do this blind so that I wouldn't have to try to be excited about stuff. I can just actually be excited. So that's right. I was at the fair. So, oh, and it starts off really weird. I haven't figured out where this is gonna tie in, but I'm sure this isn't just a random, completely off topic from the game opening. I step back and examine my masterpiece. Perfect. My favorite color. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual, a happy anomaly, just like me. Red isn't much for nature. It really only shows up in autumn. Even then, it's a dreary rust or nauseating cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing on the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus. I pluck it from its branch with the edges of my stained fingernails. Disgusting. How anyone could enjoy this color eludes me. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching, cold fingers clutching at empty air. Not my best work, unfortunately. Canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to carve a bit slower. Oh, no matter. Today, it shall be a palette for my paint. Make quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. Sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I dip my finger into the settling pool of blood. It's warm, sticky like syrup, settling gelatin. Sweet scent wafts into my nostrils. Smells of iron, rust, all things sharp and beautiful. Now, a new canvas. Check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required, so a substitute I must find. Presently, I realize that I'm still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, suppose it'll have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf. The very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah yes, dear Vincent. Man cut away his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ruin the climax. Yes? Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well? Yeah, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You were the one who wanted to know when it was finished. A thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pull to a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but master myself for one final word. Understood. Cut the transmission and eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. Pop the final capsule in my mouth, punctuating its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Oh, this is life. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over. Tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Yama Ishimoto? Huh? That's us, by the way. I sluggishly pull my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman in front of the classroom. I don't believe that this person is who is just fooling around in the woods unless I turn fucking psychotic somewhere along the lines. Are you even listening? I hide an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. I've always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's already been drilled into me since age 6. Alright, this takes place, Japan, the year 2018, but in some kind of alternate timeline where stuff is a bit different. Not that I can actually say that. In all honesty, this teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. I think the teacher's an old lady, I don't know. I glance at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering over its surface. History of Izumo, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, we weren't at war. We were basically doing nothing interesting. The teacher's lips purse into a thin line as the classroom erupts into snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then, in 2007, I America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this, well, second to China.
And why might that be?
Because we were dumb about who we partnered with. She taps her fingers impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing into slits. Well, she asked me to summarize a chapter. She didn't ask me how. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot. So we had a lovely depression with all-time highs of unemployment and crime. Good effort, gold star. Teacher waves her hands at as the class roars with laughter.
Right, that's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man.
Meh. In other news, grass is green.
Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation?
She's cute, kinda. Nah, she's cute. She gestures a few seats to my right, where my lavender-haired classmate sits. Her spine is straight as a ruler. We don't get along, though. I feel a curdle of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth Oshiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time. I settle my head in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Certainly, during this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occur almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxes at Elizabeth's textbook recitation. Hang on, I can't do this and think at the same time. Sorry. She even shoots a quick glare in my direction as if to say, "See? Why can't you be like Elizabeth?
Why can't you be more like your sister?"
Eventually, local political powers became more effective than the centralized administration, hence why Izumo operates as smoothly as it does.
Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth smiles primly, settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Oh, beautiful and brainy. She might be worthy enough to make my list. This guy. I glance to the left just in time to catch another classmate, Yahiko Igari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. See, so he's got blonde hair, she had yellow hair, or purple hair. So there's probably a purple-haired guy. I think I saw a blonde girl. Well, that's Yahiko for you. Can't remember a day where he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another. Nor can I remember a day when he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close a friend? Well, that's up for debate. Huh. She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Me too. No one can resist the Yahiko Igari. Yahiko. Man, I gotta rename these people with, English names. I'm not good. Yahiko clamps his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers.
All right, class. Thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was.
Not really, no.
We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourself 10 years from now?
I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, the second day of school? Sure, this is a third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for the college entrance exam.
Does that mean we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? Teacher pointedly looks at me, hard glint in her eye. Yama Ishimoto? Perhaps you'd like to get us started. Tempted to say no thank you, but that'd be pretty rude. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. Teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He'll be a failure, this one. He'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Really, dude? Out of anything you could have picked, you picked a restaurant manager? Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude. Like women and cars. He criticizes me for a lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years. Anything could happen. Teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice raises dramatically in volume. Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread. Here goes his dream, the one that I've heard no less than 200 times. Well, Teach, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, Lamborghini Aventador 704-4 under the other, a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him. What about the mansion? Right. Take all that and put it in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion, tended to by a staff of 1,000 maids. And where's it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean, on an island. Man-made island specifically constructed just for me, with my name laser engraved into the hills so every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to. That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your input. Clearly she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. I'm sorry if I keep switching the voices up. I'm trying to do them at all. So, just be glad that they're differing at the time. Now, Umiko, what about you? As the rest of our classmates drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Lemonisgate, or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. Hang on. Fucking... I'm having such a hard time. Music seems like it got kinda loud. For my tastes. Is the rest of her... Oh, right. I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht, the walk-in closet for just designer shoes, private jet, second mansion in Tahiti. Oh crap, I did. Hey, Teach! Fortunately for the teacher, school bell rings before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement as he gabbers on about his yacht and his designer shoes and his private jet, his second mansion in Tahiti. Restaurant manager, huh? Oh, this girl. And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. Shifts her backpack's weight to the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic. Sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having the mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant.
not owned by your parents. God damn it, I keep... Bruh. Hey, they'll kick the bucket one day. Might as well be the one who takes over. Have some respect, would you? Snicker at that. Respect? Me? Flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately, it's a pretty nice comeback. I'll give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? See, we got a brunette now. The student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens into a friendly grin. I'll be right there. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough. Her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Particularly this girl, who I'd guess is the closest thing she has to a friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. I bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of the room, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As a train of second years, probably her groupies, pull her away, Yahiko slips next to me. Why did she talk to you? Not me. The great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation. Beats me. She's been doing that for a while. Really? Yeah, we were in the same class last year. Really? I'm not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that. It's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusually stoic expression. Quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So what'd you think about my dream earlier? This again. Second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you told me. It hasn't been 200... Has it really? 203 to be exact. Huh. So, that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally. I think it's the best dream in history. And it's so original and realistic. Thanks, dude. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. What? What should I add? Aim for the moon. He gasps as if it was the best idea ever. Poor soul. Forget Tahiti, a mansion on the moon? You'd be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's even set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'll be if I build a mansion there. No one's even set foot? Seriously? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or someone just came up with a really stupid idea. So we got pink hair, and male red hair. Enter Rui Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Technically she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Beside her stands Masato Kurogani, hardy in both build and personality. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies. What's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? It's brilliant. Think, first man on the moon. First man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright you blind me. What have you been telling him? That a giant leap for him is a small step for mankind? She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with a smirk. Clever. I know. What am I doing for him as a voice? Not really a voice, but kind of just changing the pitch a little bit. I don't know, just wing it. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. What? I didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. This is news to me. Doesn't seem like a good idea, considering he only went to practice 1 year and ditched the rest. One practice last year and ditched the rest. Well, he ain't ditching this year. Ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it. What's that? You guys didn't even win last year, Masato. No need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. I got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Rui's apparent interest. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa. Well, at the very least, it's a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic. And I'll call myself Speed of Light Mountain Destroyer. What the hell? You should rename yourself to Streaking Shadow Dark Eradicator. Then we'll be unstoppable. Ain't no way I'm going with that. Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above us crackles to life.
The club fair is officially open at the courtyard. Feel free to drop in and check out some of what your fellow students have planned.
I'm not doing the PA voice ever again. Already at just the second day. Maybe the school's just making everything happen faster this year. I don't see why. Izumo Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself, even throughout the recession. There's no need to change things now. Hey, it's club time. Let's go take a look. No thanks, I'd rather not be blacklisted. What does that mean? It means she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh. Rui glares at me. I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear Rui. I'm sure I can use my substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot. I'm already in a club, you know. Drama club. Oh, right. She's been in the drama club since last year, and somehow he's still forgotten. Then what was Yama talking about? Nothing, just acting like an idiot as usual. Well, you know what they say, like attracts like. Rui elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips are pulling up at the corners. They also say opposites attract. Yeah, we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something? No more than you usually do. Yahiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace with my innumerable talents. They're innumerable, alright. So, without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but Rui calls after him. You know that we'll be there, right? Huh? Club recruitment day. All the clubs will be here, including track and drama. Oh. Well, see you there. He whisks out of the room. You're coming to me in the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm track's poster child. In fact, it'd probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe. AKA, every movie theme ever. We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man, you coming? Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? Really? Not like I have anything better to do. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Good. I gotta go set up, but I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to Rui. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. Have you figured out why he wants you in track so badly? Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room. You know, you could join drama club instead. It could be a valid excuse for Masato. I think you just asked why I joined a different club when I could have joined track. But still, I am not liking my female voice. But I mean, listen to me. I don't have a female voice. What do you want from me? I think you'd really like it. Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. Rui seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. Make-believe is one of the few things I don't mind doing. But it's so much work. It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun. I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders her bag. Oh, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm gonna get going. I'll go with you. We walk in step to the door, almost into freedom, and then the strident voice of the teacher rips through the air. Yama Ishimoto? Surely you didn't expect these to escape so easily. Ah, yes, my attitude problem. I turn to Rui, suddenly pleading, bail me out. Not a chance. What? What? It builds character. I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction for me. Throw in a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with the teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call falteringly after her. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. What was that, young man? I turn to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Oops. Nothing. Great weather we're having, huh? She doesn't seem amused. At this point, at what point? It's the second day of school. Unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Think of it, yeah, it's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you to therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me? You might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones of our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusually passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jabs a book and envelope at me.
Take this. Mr. Ryuta's office. You know where it is.
A tiny pinch of the tension releases.
Mr. Ryuta's my...
I'm just gonna call him Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Ryuta's
the mentor? Maybe this won't be so bad. I gave the book a once-over. Cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaim primates of the 21st century. 100 plus correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, gee, I'm honored.
Take it.
I take it.
Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto.
She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. I got the best shenanigans. Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy, not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate him too. I tromp down the stairs to the first floor, and stop before a door at the edge of the hallway, bearing the sign J. Ryuta. Ryota. It's gonna be Ryota. Dorm manager. I rap sharply on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No. Meh. Don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself. Locked it. Don't bother. I'm gonna have to come up with a better voice for him, because I kinda like him. I press my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is. Action-packed orchestral strings, just barely bleeding through the wood. Faint clanging of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryuta? Bah. A moment later, and the door's lock clicks open. Ah, light. Slip inside the room, holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the room. Warm light encompasses the rooms. Why is room at plural? Highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around the coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. It looks more like the office of a therapist rather than the office of a school dorm manager. In the corner, I spot a comely mahogany desk, on top of which sits Mr. Ryuta in a very dramatic position. Jiro Ryuta. Welcome to the Satin House. Have you brought an offering to please the Dark Lord? Indeed I have. With an equally exaggerated bow, I present my book and note from my teacher. Mr. Ryuta's eyebrows scrunch in confusion. What the hell is this? I kinda got in trouble earlier, talking back. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced I need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. She was thinking more along the lines of counseling, I believe. Oh, okay. What the hell is this? He shakes... Oh, so what the hell is this? He shakes the book empathetically. The curriculum that the teacher recommends for, helping me. Oh, right. Well, I'll put it where it belongs. He promptly throws it in the trash, which extracts a laugh from me.
Now to business. Let me read up on exactly what your teacher wants. His eyes drift over the paper that I silently handed to him. Ha! Oh boy, isn't this precious. Let me translate. Dear Mr. Ryota, I'm having trouble subduing a boy who actually has a brain and doesn't care for the inefficiencies of bureaucracy. Sincerely, a woman who is certainly the most boring person in a graduating class. I choke back laughter as he crumples the paper ball and lobs it in the trash. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that, or I might get fired. And then you'll have to take counseling from Mrs. Hanazawa. And then where would we be? Consider that NDA signed. Mr. Ryota reclines easily against his chair, kicking his legs on the table. So, how's the apartment? Still in one piece mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? Phil. A dendron. I get it. The little houseplant. The one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks worse than mine, kid. Oh, right. I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota forming an odd attachment to a plant when I'd moved into my apartment. Even to the point where he named it Phil, a dendron. I think he died. That's a bit odd. I thought he was a fake plant. Nope. Looked fake on the outside, but I guess... Looked fake on the outside, I guess, but all real inside. A satisfied smile pulls at Mr. Ryota's lips. I suddenly realize the metaphor. We're not talking about plants, are we? Your optimism is inspiring, kid. I would have thought your answer would have been to the contrary. What, do people look real on the outside, but they're all fake inside? Something like that. We were talking about plants. How was I supposed to know? Well, you know now. So now that you know, is your answer the same? No. Didn't even need to think about it. It's the truth. People pretend to be genuine on the outside, but inside they're nothing. Mr. Ryota evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging his gaze. You must be a real party pleaser. I'll be here all week. What made you draw such a depressing conclusion? I can tell that his mind's on the fast track of psychoanalysis. Childhood trauma, clinical depression, suicidal tendencies. Time to put that to rest. Because if anything should be blamed, it should be my 100% natural disdain for humanity. Power of observation, if anything. People like to be strong, confident, independent on the outside. Peel that away and what do you get? Their heart. Then the heart must be pretty pathetic. Did I ever say otherwise? No, I guess you didn't. Jesus Christ. Mr. Ryota eases from the topic and leans back on his chair, drawing a planner from his drawer. Well, if it were up to me, I'd say that you're just like any other surly teenager going through the first throes of senioritis. But paperwork's been signed, and you know how bureaucracy goes. I thought our government was supposed to be more efficient now. More efficient since the natural changes. Ha! You assume the mayor actually does anything important. He scrawls something down on his tablet and taps the screen. My phone buzzes gently in my pocket. Your teacher recommends that we meet every day, but honestly, who has time for that? We'll just play it by ear, and you let me know if you ever get the urge to murder somebody. Probably means you're due for another checkup. I
check what he sent me. Copy of the spreadsheet that he's taped outside his door, revealing his available times. Wow, how do you have this much free time? Life as a dorm manager is just swell, isn't it? Thought you at least had some kind of job. I'll let you in on a secret. Kids here don't cause much trouble. Not 'cause they're angels, not 'cause they're boring, because they're too prissy. They don't want to get their manicured nails dirty with things like graffiti or booze. But they do need someone to cry to when they stub a toe, and all the other teachers seem to think that I fit that job description. Actually, it's more likely that they don't want to deal with hormonal brats. So instead of being a helicopter parent, I get to be a bench warmer who just nods and smiles once every few minutes. Like with me? Well, you'll be more interesting than the rest of them, I hope. Yeah, that sounds like the academy in a nutshell. Half the people are too snobby to be fun, and the other half are too lazy to care. What do you get to hear? Whining about grades? Toxic relationships? Sometimes, but not always. At any rate, I can't exactly complain. Makes my job easy. Thank you for your massive contribution to society. You're absolutely welcome. You seem to equal yours. I snort, he chuckles. Yeah, this could have been really painful if I hadn't gotten Mr. Ryuta. Well, as your loving, caring, and awe-inspiring mentor, I can hardly keep you from the beauty that is Club Recruitment Day. Oh no, I'm fine, really. Off you go. Take a selfie and send it to me. Or I'll schedule an appointment tomorrow. But that you said you need to expand your opportunities, broaden your horizons, go where no man has gone before. But most importantly, you need to get out of my office so I can check on my clan. That's just sad, Mr. Ryuta. World domination calls. See ya. Without another word, he shoved me out and slammed the door in my face. I have no choice but to head to the school courtyard. This guy. It doesn't take much time to find Masato behind the track table, armed with I Heart Track flags and I Heart Track posters and I Heart Track headbands. I get this very vague feeling that he loves track. He welcomes me enthusiastically, immediately piling all admin duties on me. But true to my word, I proceed to be completely useless throughout the recruitment process. Eventually, Masato seems to have given up, handing me a simple sign to wave around. I amuse myself by coming up with truly terrible pitches. Want a six-pack? Join track. Looking for health hacks? Join track. Get a knack? Join track. Right? Rid your lack. Join track. Pick up the slack and join track. So, for reasons unknown, Masato seems to love this. He grins and slaps me on the back. There you go, you just need to apply yourself, see? I'm pretty sure that those glances we're getting from the underclassmen aren't looks of admiration. Despite my obvious shortcomings, Masato hooks 4 recruits into track. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that he's got that many. A lot of attendees of the school are the richer, lazier kids. I also noticed that he seems to be a lot easier on them than he was on me. When the club recruitment fair is done and everything's torn down, Masato and I head to the school entrance to wait for Rui and Yahiko.
For reasons unknown, Masato is ecstatically chattering about my newfound enthusiasm. You killed it today, man. That's the kind of team spirit we need. Great. Might have just got myself into more trouble. Well, I guess I was on track for most of last year. Might as well do it again this year. To him, and I said, "Geezer's on a gravy stick of motherload. We could use a man with your skills." And so he signed the contract with the blood from his veins, thereby permanently joining the drama club. Wow, I can't believe you're so good at recruiting people. You know what they've said to me? What? Something like, "Get a life. You're just in denial about reality." Well, darn my socks. Youth these days are so cynical. The two come to a halt as Masato waves Rui over. Well, looks like you guys have plans. I better leave you and you and everyone else to have some nice time together. What are you talking about? It's more like babysitting duty. I'm the babysitter and I have to make sure a bunch of kids won't, set the house on fire and stuff. Oh, come on. He's your best friend, isn't he? And your childhood friend? Yeah, but... Have you guys made a childhood promise together? What? No way. Really? Really? Those kinds of things are more cliche than explosions in an action movie? Exactly. Well, think of it this way. Although explosions may be a cliche, they're also a staple. Can't have a proper action movie without proper explosions. It's the same with life. You can't have a proper childhood friend without a proper childhood promise. I wince. Does she have to mean romantically, really? Look. There are the guys. I guess I better get going. Have fun storming the castle. The girl cheerily skips away as Rui sprints to us for refuge. Try for a smirk. Looks like you and Akira. That was the blonde girl, I guess. Had a productive recruitment day. Akira Karube, Rui's best friend, current roommate, and self-appointed matchmaker. Although another person who I don't get along with, but let's be honest, do I get along with anyone? Akira was sure productive. I barely had any luck. I noticed that she's mastered herself surprisingly quickly. Well, I guess the 10 years of make-believe and drama club would do that to you. How'd you guys do? We got 4 new recruits, 15 liters of fresh blood. 15 liters? Did you just pull that number out of your head, or is it actually legit? Real woman? Of course it's legit. Average weight's 55 kilograms. The average teenager has a blood volume of 7% of his or her own total weight. We got ourselves 4 new recruits. Rui's eyes already swimming as he raves on, seemingly unaware of the curious glances from the freshmen who pegged him as a rough thug. Assuming no one's anemic, we got 55 times 4 in total kilograms, which is 220. Multiply that by 0.07 for the weight to blood volume ratio. Bam, 15.4. Round it down to 15 for a nice round number. We got ourselves 15 liters of fresh blood. And this is why Masato really isn't good at, this is why Masato is really good at catching people off guard. Can't believe you actually calculated that. Wow, it ain't no trouble.
It sure sounds like trouble. Hell nah. You should see what we do in Honor Society. Yes, Honor Society. Not only does he participate in it, he's the president. Oh, did I not mention that he's literally good at everything? Athletics, academics, heck, probably even art. Except sarcasm. It's one area I can trump him in. The only area. Oh great, here comes the great Yakahito Ikari. Sure enough. Footsteps took me off guard. Sure enough, a familiar shock of blonde hair pops around the corner. Yahiko's beaming, but I notice he's not holding a single sign-up page in his hand. Good day to you, my pitiful peasants. You've arrived just in time to witness my brilliant plan. Technically, he's the one who came to us, but I stay silent. See, I've decided to create my own club. A club worthy of my immeasurable greatness. In other words, I got rejected by all the other clubs. Oh boy. You're making a club? Good for ya. I know. I'm gonna call it the Happy Club, and it will be compromised and minions who will follow my every bidding. I think we just witnessed the creation of the shadiest club on campus. We will start by taking over the school, then Isamu, then Japan. Fuck, what was I doing for a voice for him? Then the entire world. Well, at least he doesn't lack ambition. And once my mansion on the moon is built, we'll have dominion over the universe itself. Bet he does lack brains. What you guys talking about all secret like? Nothing. We're just talking about how we haven't gone to GFC in a while. As completely unconvincing as this excuse is, she successfully turns Masato's attention to food. GFC? I like the way you think, Rui. We better go now before the dinner rush starts. He marches off, humming cheerily, as Yahiko blathers on about how amazing his new club will be. Great cover. I know. Totally inconspicuous. Just as inconspicuous as that time you wore a kimono. Of course she'd bring that up. You want to get tickled? You wouldn't dare. Whenever you mention anything about kimonos, I feel a sudden urge to tickle the nearest person. We better get going. We should follow Masato and Yahiko. To GFC, yeah. She speeds away before I have the chance to stop her. I only chuckle to myself as I catch up. I think I'm gonna call it after GFC just because my mouth is like super dry and I'm tired and it's late. I started this really late today, but I wanted to hurry up and like get the part I read all caught up so that I can get to the new shit. New to me anyway. As we make our way to the lively shopping area a few blocks from our campus, a couple of details catch my attention. There's endless posters and billboards plastered with faces of politicians with broad, candid smiles, proclaiming in bold letters, "Back to prosperity. The recession is over. And do more with more," upon scrolling tablets and giant projected screens. That's normal. There's the smoker and his buddy, random drunkard, the Group of tourists clutching electronic pamphlets titled "Welcome to the Glorious Metropolis of Isamu," while taking pictures in front of every possible location. And most of all, the ordinary Isamuite. The ordinary Isamuite power walking down sidewalks with resumes clutched in their hopeful hands. It's also normal. Everything is normal. Completely normal. So why do I feel so uneasy? Maybe it's the skyscrapers. Never liked them. Too tall, and I always get the impression they're watching me. Not like guardians either. Not some benevolent force that's watching over the city. More like staring, waiting for the right moment to strike. Then there's the smog. That terrible, musky pollution that sits on my skin like a coat of hard mud. Every breath is disgusting, but every breath is necessary. I hate this city. I really, really do. Too bad there's nothing better. Not really. Too bad that Isamu has always been the best, if not only option. Jesus Christ! It actually startled me. Pay attention, you idiot! I'm startled out of my thoughts by Masato grabbing my arm and yanking me out of the street. Do you not see the red light? Red means stop. And stop means your velocity reaches 0. You could have been run over by a truck. Despite myself, I'm touched by their concern. I'm fine. Let's go. After eyeing me for a long moment, Yahiko shrugs and bounds to GFC's automatic doors, activating the motion sensor with a flourish. I'll go a little bit further than GFC, because I just remembered what happens after it, and it'll be at least the first interesting thing to happen, because this is all just kind of in world building, which helps make the story down the line better, because you know the characters and you can care about them easier. Ladies first. Lady? Where? Right here. She slaps a hand on my shoulder with a cheery grin. Ooh, good one. You mean Yama's been a girl all this time? Oh heavens no, that'd be really awkward. Why? Let's go have some chicken. Boy, I'm so hungry. Fried chicken. She quickly skips into GFC, leaving Masato thoroughly bewildered. I don't get it. Why is it awkward? Beats me. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a good idea. There's no way I'm bringing that up. Look, are we having chicken or not? Of course we are. What do you take me for? Oh, good thing that neither he nor Yahiko are very perceptive. Without further ado, we enter GFC. General Fried Chicken has always been a favorite of students from the academy. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's within walking distance. It's also pretty nice considering that it's a fast food outlet. Tables are clean, the walls are lined with cushioned booths. Red and beige paint slathered on the walls seems fresh and pristine. For some, the smell of heavy grease and oil is overbearing. For us, it's the smell of pure heaven. This place smells like death. Oh, most of us. Weren't you the one who was in such a hurry to come in? Fried chicken. Shut up. After we order and pick up our chicken, we slip into the nearest booth. Masato rifles through his wallet, a frown crossing his lips. Damn! The dough cocky. doe's cocky. Damn, the doe's cocky. I have no clue what he just said. Good, I'm not alone. What? Thankfully, no one else seems to know either. Masato is slightly startled, as if he hadn't noticed that we were there. Nothing. So, how was class? That's pretty suspicious. But we all decided to let it pass. We're nice like that. Pretty good, but I don't know anyone in my class. What, are they giving you a hard time? What? No, nothing like that. It's just, you guys are a year older, and Akira's in a different class this year. Bah, I'm sure you'll make truckloads of friends. Yeah. Yeah, you're almost as charming as me. Thanks, guys. Despite the cheery exchange, I noticed there's a shadow to Rui's eyes. She definitely should have a lot of friends. She's likable, warm, fun, talented. But for reasons unknown, chooses to spend most of her time with me, a useless cynic. And Akira, an optimist with a few screws loose. I've always wanted to ask why, but a small part of me is afraid that the moment I bring it up, she'll realize it and leave. Oh. No, I need to do this. It's the least I can do. Why don't you hang out with your classmates? The words come out a lot harsher than I intended. But Rui doesn't even seem to be offended. Her expression darkens, but it's one out of anger, not hurt. I don't want to hang out around people like them. Why not? They're a bunch of fakes. All they do is judge me, or others in the class, or even one another. Not outright mean, but I don't like it when people talk behind my back. And they pick on this shy girl in our class for no reason. It's stupid. You really hate them, don't you? Not really, but we don't get along. She picks idly at her chicken. The air feels somber and heavy. Hey, you know what we need? A competition. Now it's not the time to be bringing up competitions, Masato. Actually, that's a good idea. Wait, what? She never said that before. Generally because Masato's never come up with any good ideas. I'll have to sit this one out. Or it won't even be a contest. So, you and me, Yama. No thanks. You don't even know what it is. Fine, what is it? Who can eat the most triple S's in the shortest amount of time? No thanks. Hey! The Triple S Hot Wings is GFC's most infamous menu item. An order of blindingly spicy wings. I don't particularly feel like disabling my mouth forever, thanks. Rui wants to watch. I glance at Rui. The prospect of watching a competition does seem appealing to her. Probably because she can make fun of the stupidity of it all. Oh, if it'll cheer her up. Gosh, I need serious help. Fine, you're paying though. Never fear. Generous Yahiko Ikari shall bestow you with the necessary funds. He shells some cash to Masato, who takes it with a nod of thanks. Boy, this'll be fun. For me. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Why not? You mean, why wouldn't I want to participate in a competition that could potentially ruin my mouth and traumatize me forever? Yeah, exactly. This guy.
Sometimes I wonder if he's trying to be this. Oh, stupid. Oh, yeah. Masato returns and slides 2 platters of Triple S hot wings to the center of the table. Now remember, every good competition needs a good audience. Let me hear it for Team Kurogane, which is his last name, in case anyone forgot. I did. Who? Hey Rudy, why aren't you cheering? Huh? I'm, in character as an audience member who's cheering for Yama. Pshaw, you and your drama club. Fine, give it up for Team Ishimoto. Yeah! Everyone in the restaurant drops in silence and stares at us. I elbow her in the ribs, feeling a flush creep over my cheeks. Stop that. What? I'm in character. Sure you are. Okay, whatever. Let's get going. We lean forward, hands just a hair away from the tray as Rui looks on with an expectant smile. 3, 2, 1, go! Masato immediately starts shoveling hot wings into his mouth, but I take a few moments to gather myself before I take a bite. Chicken seemed to explode in my mouth, sending streaks of fire down my tongue. I cough violently and gulp down some water. Oh god, coughing with any kind of pepper sauce in your mouth just makes it burn down your friggin' lungs. This was a terrible idea. Yeah, you mustn't fail me, marvelous minion. Oh, everyone's actually watching. Hey, you gotta cheer for Yama, this isn't any fun. But now that I've noticed, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh gee, thanks. Not like I'm doing this for you or anything. Grimacing, I shove the remainder of the wing into my mouth and spit out the bone. The meat burns down my esophagus and simmers in my stomach. Come on, Yama needs his cheering squad. Rip, rip, ree, kick him in the knee. Rip, rip, ras, kick him in the other knee. Go, Sato, go, Sato. Masato spits out his bones on the platter. 3 wings down already, and I've just started my second. For some reason, this makes me feel unusually competitive. Woo! You got this, you're beating him. Ice cream soda, banana split. We think your team's full of shift to the left, shift to the right. Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. As she finishes her chant and quickly turns away to hide her embarrassment, I barely work through the one more mouthful of fried chicken before giving up. There has to be another way. Yeah, 5th wing down, keep going. Go Yama. My eyes land on an innocuous packet sitting from beneath the chicken bucket. GFC hot sauce. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. While Masato reaches for his 6th wing, I surreptitiously rip the end off of the hot sauce packet and squirt it over his platter. He only smirks at me. Ha! Gonna take more than a little ketchup to win. He bites triumphantly into the wing. Oh, that's not ketchup. He freezes. I swear the steam is coming out of his ears. It's GFC's signature hot sauce. Rah! Hot, hot, hot! A desperate Masato launches out of the booth to sprint to the soda machine. Wait. That was cheating. Is it cheating if there weren't any rules in the first place? Either way, it was pretty dirty. Poor Masato. She He looks pointedly at Masato, who's slowly dragging himself back into the booth while chugging a huge cup of water. I feel a slight tinge of guilt at his suffering, but Rui's obviously improved mood makes it worth it.
This ain't over. Or this ain't the end, whatever.
He keels over the table, somehow managing to continue drinking from his cup.
That reminds me of the latest episode of...
I had to figure out how to pronounce this.
Govermecker.
Govermecher. Oh. Govermecker? Govermecher? Just gonna go with Govermecker. Govermecker! Of what?
You mean you haven't heard of Govermecker?
Do you have to yell it so loudly? Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't been kicked out for causing a public disturbance yet.
But one cannot help but yell at the epicness of Govermecker. Govermecker.
Keep adding an R. Okay, fine. What is it?
It's this web series that a couple of my homemates made. Remember, over the summer?
Oh yeah, I saw you running around wearing a long blonde wig or something. Great. That's a mental image I'm not getting out of my head anytime soon.
Yeah, it's about the President of the United States. Well, it's called Akirama in our web series. Isn't that clever? Fighting other politicians to defend his country.
Akirama. It's America backwards. Akirama. So, it's like a political drama?
No way, dude, that's boring. They battle it out in giant robots. President's is red, white, and blue. It even has an eagle motif and everything.
Sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That sounds like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Is he for real?
Of course, I'm heading to the main event. I'm the president's aide.
If you're the president's aide, you're a side character. You're not the lead.
Huh? Really?
Well, I, for one, am proud of you. Finally found your calling. Being a background character.
I know, right? I'm gonna be a star.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the physical manifestation of the saying, ignorance is bliss.
Episodes are all up on the website. Just search the title, Govermecker. You're all set.
We'll have to check it out. Are you serious? How else will I know how to viciously badmouth it? I can't decide whether to be offended or impressed. Why not both?
Hey, you two listening?
Sorry, what?
No, I was just saying that I gotta go back.
I briefly checked my phone, 6:10 p.m. Almost Masato's curfew. Yeah, he has this thing where he goes to bed at 9:30 sharp every night. Just one more way that is completely crazy. Disciplined, but crazy. Still, it's best to honor that. The only thing worse than a normal Masato trying to drag me into track is a grumpy Masato trying to drag me into track. Well then, let's go. We head out of the restaurant and back to the academy right as the sun starts to set. It's kind of a ritual to walk with them, even though I don't live at the dorms anymore. I live in an apartment within walking distance. But since there's nothing and no one waiting for me at my apartment, I kind of just go wherever they go.
Maybe it's because our stomachs are full, but we're completely silent on the way back. It's a comfortable silence, but silence still. And that means thinking. Overthinking, unfortunately. I almost jump as I see a group of 3 policemen race by on the opposite side of the street. Approaching sirens, piercing the air with their incessant wailing, direct our attention to... Oh no. Whoa. A wave of nausea washes over me. The front of a city bus is crumpled against the back of a pickup truck. Thin trails of smoke mix with the pungent smell of burnt rubber and scrap metal. The scene is surrounded by a unit of police cars and a fire truck, along with a crowd of shaken people along the sidewalk. How awful. At least they all look okay. We can't do anything about it. Let's go. Masato and Yahiko nod hesitantly, but Rui only stares thoughtfully at me. I stare at her. She tilts her head. I shrug. This seems to have helped her come to a decision, as she suddenly turns to Masato and Yahiko with a very convincing smile. Hey, Masato, Yahiko, why don't you guys head on back? I gotta do something really quick. Masato opens his mouth, clearly confused, but Yahiko elbows him in the side and shakes his head ever so slightly. No. What? Say, we better get back before your curfew. Hold your horses, I was gonna ask. Come along, peasant, your king commands it. With the final wave, Yahiko drags Masato down the street. Rui turns her attention to me. I'm inviting myself over. Gee, thanks. That's what friends are for. Despite the smirk on her face, I catch her glancing at the ruined bus. I can't find it in me to argue with her. Argue over what we don't yet know. And we don't find out, at least until later, if at all. Sure, I guess. We switch our route to a different street, remaining silent as we pass by 3 more police officers. We reach Myriad Apartments without much difficulty. It's a pretty decent place at a low price. A lot of Academy students are known to live here due to its close proximity to the campus. Do a lot of students live here? Yeah, why? Well, what if someone sees us? I don't want them to get the wrong idea. I feel a little uneasy as I remove my shoes. Judging from the blush on her face, it's less that she's worried about a ruined reputation and more that she's trying to cover up certain feelings. Feelings that I'm not ready to deal with. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll just think you're one of my guy friends. I don't even look like a boy. I only smirk at her as I flop on the sofa. It is the place I know as home sweet home. Simple furniture, random pieces of clothing here and there, a basic kitchen crammed in the corner. Not too fancy, but not shabby in the slightest. Comfortable. Rui doesn't seem to feel the same way. She gives everything a disapproving look as she proceeds through the apartment. I think this place has gotten messier. So sue me. Can I actually? No. She looks over at me for a moment, and something in her expression shifts. So, that bus. I sigh noisily and close my eyes. Can we talk about something else? I don't know what the significance of the bus crash is either. You hungry? Huh? We just came from eating. I can make some omelets. Must have been... whatever. Isn't that a breakfast food? Instead of replying, I just hear the rhythmic patter of footsteps against the carpet. In just a few minutes, there's a clack-clack of a knife against the chopping board, the gentle sizzle of oil in a frying pan, and the tick-tick-tack of chopsticks whipping against a bowl of eggs. A heavenly aroma rises in the air. Rui? At the lack of response, I open my eyes. Light. It takes a little effort, but I manage to pull myself up and head to the kitchen. Rui? I stop short. Hey, this is a familiar scene. Rui's zeroed in on the stove, sprinkling ham and cheese over a bubbling layer of eggs and humming a catchy little tune. Aw, it's a cutie. The apron tied around her waist should be way too big for her. Somehow it looks perfect. Wait, this is Rui. Rui Hayata. Get a grip, Yama. Get a grip. No, it's too late. Welcome home, honey. You must be starving. I prepared dinner just for you. Wow, I'm so lucky for marrying such a wonderful woman. Not to mention adorable. Oh, sweetie, I'm the lucky one. Just look at your chiseled jaw, your beautiful eyes. I'm not the one who's a work of art, baby. Hehe. Well, why don't you have a seat, Pumpkin? Dinner's almost served. I simply can't wait to taste your delicious food, Angel. What would you prefer, darling? Dinner, a bath, or me? Oh, sugar, we both know the answer to that question. In that case, love, the first course will be... your lips. My fist. I immediately jerked back into reality, the terrible vision dissipating into thin air. Well, that escalated quickly. I don't even want to know what would bring such a terrible image to mind. This guy is really, disconnected from his feelings. Like he's got a really powerful, intentional cognitive dissonance going for him. Rui and me married? Shudder on the inside. Not that she's, bad or anything. We understand each other more than anyone else. But then we'd have to be in a romantic relationship. And romance in high school is just, we could end up losing our friendship entirely, which would suck. And it's 99.999% likely, given my great luck. Light. Crap, what am I even thinking about? Back to reality. What are you making? Omelets? Are you sure? She nudges me in the side, but she's smiling. Plate, please. Huh? Plate, idiot. Yeah, Your Majesty. You keep things light and teasing as I reach in the cabinet and pass a plate to Rui. She freezes slightly when my shoulder brushes against hers, but I pretend not to notice. Just what the doctor ordered. One premium plate, imported directly from the mystical land of Denmark. Yeah, anything that, is I guess something copyrighted or whatever, is just slightly changed, like Danmar instead of Walmart. What was the thing earlier? Oh, General's Fried Chicken instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken. and up ahead there's gonna be a goodbye kitty instead of hello kitty. I graciously accept this offering, O humble servant. May there be lasting peace between our countries. She deftly slides the omelet onto the plate in one fluid motion, dipping into a slight curtsy as I dig in. The delectable flavor of mozzarella, cheddar, ham, and mushrooms explodes in my mouth. Am I in heaven? Really beams proudly. That good? As if an angel made it herself. Oh wait, one did. Sometimes I swear there's someone else in this head of mine. It's delicious. The genuine, heart-rending smile that spreads across her face just makes my stomach sink. It's not the kind of smile you make when you're complimented on your cooking by a friend. Just a friend, that is. She looks like she could jump over the moon. A kind of shining, beautiful smile that is only made when the smiler is utterly happy, completely ignorant that they're utterly happy. I want her to be happy, but false hopes. It's just too cruel. Maybe there's something I can do to put her down without hurting her. But you guys are like perfect together, and you get along so well, and you're being stupid, you're being so dumb. I guess he's being cautious, but he's making dumb decisions because of it. Hey, Rui, did you ever think that maybe we hang out too much? What? Gentle, be the gentlest human being on earth. Except the thing I'm quite possibly worse. Sorry. Except the thing that I'm quite possibly the worst at is being gentle. You know, high school is the time to explore, especially since we're getting ready for university. So maybe we should be spending time just, looking at other things, going to events, stuff like that. You're telling me that you're going to an event with people? I'm saying that we shouldn't be together so often. Aww. Her face immediately falls. Damn it. I already know that my words have hit her harder than I've intended. After all, pretty much all we've been doing for the past 10 years is hanging out. We were each other's only constant amidst new locations, new schools, new friends. That one firm foundation that's there until the end of time. If you separated Rui from Yama and Yama from Rui, I'm not sure what you'd find. To have me, who's always been relying on her, leeching off of her, suggests that he wants to go out on his own way and do his own thing. Well, it's awfully short-sighted and ungrateful. But I guess that's what I am, really. Because I'm too scared that Rui will truly, honestly end up falling in love with me. Not that I have any clue why she would. But insurance is key. Look, I appreciate this, but I'm not a kid anymore, I can take care of myself just fine. It's not true. Like, I know the place needs a good cleaning. I don't need someone else to tell me. I attempt to soften the blow as much as I can. I like hanging out with you, but when it comes to this point, I think... I'm so sorry, Yama. I didn't mean to offend you. You... What? I wasn't trying to replace her. I freeze. A sudden pain fills my lungs like I'm breathing in fire. My vision spins for a moment, and... No, I fight it. Then it's gone. My knees suddenly go weak and I stagger forward, quickly catching myself on the couch. Rui rushes forward, but I quickly throw out a hand. This. You see this? You're being a burden now. The words are too harsh. I regret them as soon as they slip out. Can you just let me think right now? It's what I've always said whenever I want to be alone. Well and truly alone. The need to think has nothing to do with it, and Rui knows this. I'll be right out. Goodbye. To make her feel this way is despicable. The back of my mind congratulates me with a wry. Well, you got what you wanted. She'll make some other friends now. I silently watch Rui as she slips on her shoes and abruptly fixes me with a pleading look. See you tomorrow? Because she wants to know that everything will be okay. Because she wants everything to return to normal. I should go the whole way. I should say no, probably not. Or maybe, we'll see. Instead, I send an automatic smile. Yeah, see ya, Rui. Have a good night, Yama. The relief in her voice is palpable as she closes the door behind her. It takes everything in me to stop myself from catching up with her and offering to walk her back. Why is it when it really comes down to it, I can't even push people away properly? Given my prickly personality, I would have thought I could do at least that. I guess not, though. I guess it's just another thing to add to the list of things Yama can't do. I kind of wonder if there's anything that's not on that list. I sit up, kneading at the tense knots in my shoulders. Technically, I need to study tonight, but before that I should try to wind down. A choice? Alright, so we're gonna save here. Yes. We are overwriting all of the saves. Alright, so for going ahead with the story, I'm gonna pick read a book, because when I did this the first time, my thought was, no, I just almost broke that sweet little girl's heart. I'm not gonna not reward myself, but I'm not gonna allow myself to watch something goofy and, you know, try to laugh it off and feel better about it. So I read a book, but I'm gonna finish this just so we can watch this, because not watch it, but it is pretty humorous. Okay, boot up the computer, open the browser, Governmecker. There we are. I am Jay Graves, the president. Many oppose me and my choices, so I must deal with their resistance the only way I know how. Governmecker, mobilize. Ow. The screen explodes into action as a teen in an oversized suit leaps off of a building, landing in a flashy somersault into the open palm of a giant robot. The robot lights up and strikes a pose with notably jerking movements, as if animated by stop motion. The beginnings of an admittedly catchy opening song are abruptly cut short with sudden chanting. Give us axe, President Sun. We want axe, President Sun. And suddenly, President J. Graves is on the ground, his giant robot pet nowhere in sight. Strange, was that a dream sequence or just bad editing? The president turns around, the camera pans out to reveal that he's standing in a broad field of wheat, reminiscent of old samurai movies. At the other end stands a guy in some hideous recreation of 3 different cosplays, swirly-eyed glasses perched on the end of his nose, and a flannel headband embroidered with a giant heart wrapped around his unkempt hair. What business do you have with the fine country of Asarima? Yeah, Asarima is what we're calling it. The guy lowers his picket sign, which is half in English, half in Japanese, and steps forward, pushing his glasses up his nose. Boku na name is Otakabu. Keep it memorized, nay, President-san? Otakabu. Speak English, heathen. I am no gaijin. You just have no appreciation of foreign culture. Culture? Yes. Yes. Japan, anime, manga, sushi. They are the world's Ichiban. Ha! Asarima needs none of your poison. It needs righteous gatherings, hunting, barbecues, country fairs and extreme sports and golf clubs. None of these weeaboo shenanigans. Wait, aren't you Japanese? Boku wa double weeaboo, of course. I'm guessing boku wa means I am. So he introduced himself with it. Boku da double weeaboo, of course. A weeaboo of American culture who are weeaboos for Japanese culture. Why, that's genius. I'm gonna leave it to you to figure out what the terminologies are for stuff. What a weeaboo is, what a gaijin is. Otakabu thrusts his picket sign up to the sky. Of course it is. Our glorious Nippon is genius, land of the rising sun. Approve our anime expo, President-san, and no blood will be spilled. Ha! Over my dead body. Then over your dead body it will have to be. I love that it's just flashing red, white, and blue every so often. He reaches into his backpack, which is blanketed with stickers of various anime figures, and throws a long rectangular pillow at President Graves. The wheel of fate is turning. In a poorly green screen sequence, the pillow begins to transform into a giant doll in a Lolita dress, with a wig of luscious purple hair pulled tight over its head. If I squint, I can see that its face is dulled with exaggerated blush, eyeliner, and lipstick. It's an atrocity to the eyes. No, don't you dare hurt my Daringu. Yes,
Hold him, my waifu.
President Graves flails his arms in struggle, but the doll grips him tightly. An easy task, considering that it's roughly 3 times his height. President Graves stares in disbelief at the towering femme fatale, which languidly blinks back at him with 2 looming painted eyeballs. What sort of shenanigans is this? My waifu, the very best, like no one ever was. Mo of the highest level. In a sudden burst of energy, President Graves throws the doll off of him. Waifu? Mo? This is Asirima! He reaches into his oversized suit and pulls out a trumpet from nowhere, playing a very out-of-tune military reveal. They, the people, need no waifu. They need a true Asiriman hero. Captain Asirima, mobilize! I think I'm giving them both the same voice now. The field backdrop crumbles to pieces as a teenage guy in a skin-tight wetsuit bursts onto the scene, swinging a pizza pan spray-painted in red, white, and blue. Chugging behind him is the president's mech, in all its red, white, and blue with an eagle motif glory, still animated in awkward stop motion. For liberty and freedom of speech. Oh my god. He leaps into President Graves' mech. Why isn't the president using it himself? Promptly pulverizes the waifu into the ground. Then he suddenly stops. One fist of the mech still raised high in the air. Wait. If Asirima has freedom of speech, shouldn't Otakabu be able to hold an anime Why are you thinking? Public schools should have whipped you by now. Oh, right. With a casual shrug, the mech hoists Otakabu over its head, spins him around a handful of times, and hurls him upward. Otakabu is blasting off again! He disappears with a twinkle in the distant sky. President Graves nods triumphantly, clapping the dismounting Captain Asirima on the back with a steady hand. Good night, Asirima. May you sleep in peace. His phone gives a gentle trill as the credits begin to roll. Hello? Hey, girlfriend. You need to, totally get over here. There's this big meeting and, people want you. Thank you, assistant. Farewell. Bye-bye. The phone clicks shut and... Wait. Was that Yahiko's voice? He did say he was the president's aide. I'm never gonna let him live this down. Well, it's time to study. Alright, so I'm gonna cut it here. And so if you manage to sit through this whole length, first, thank you. And second, I don't know, it seems like there's a lot more crazy cool shit to happen, so onward to the next part. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bye.